And good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Fireside Casts. I am Eki in the booth with Connie, or Console. Not really sure what the display name
Console.
is. Getting trolled by an ad on Twitch right now. Any primers? Use your prime to get rid of the ads. But today we're bringing you some collegiate TF2 coverage. It's been a little bit. I'm feeling pretty good. We got Texas A&M University versus the University of New Mexico. Two teams that we've covered, I think, a handful of times in collegiate coverage so far. But like I said, I'm feeling pretty good about this match tonight. How are you feeling about the upcoming games?
I'm excited, Eki. Coming back for my first cast in 5 years is really fun. I'm excited to catch some college action. My normal job, I usually produce college esports, so I
Oh,
guess I finally get to cast some.
yeah, you're on the other end, the other side of things. You don't have to, move the camera around for everybody to see. You just have to, talk about the things you have in front of you. I guess more so you have to talk about the strategies I think you would prefer to see used and everything, which, like you said, the the Library of Alexandria of knowledge in your mind earlier. You'll have to dig in the recesses of your mind to get all that info out, but I'm sure you can. I'm sure you'll be able to bust out some unheard of tech, some long lost ancient strategies coming forth for this game. But let me scroll up in our fancy super secret caster thread so I can get some information. It will be a best of 3 series. So your maps are going to be Snake, map 1, Metal will be map 2, and then Bagel will be the decider. If we have to go to a third map, it will be Bagel. It looks like Texas A&M bans Sunshine. UNM is going to pick Snakewater. They ban Skytrain. Texas will ban or pick Metal, and UNM will then ban Process. Then Product is banned by Texas, and Bagel is the only remaining map. So that's just kind of left to be the decider. It's the upper bracket semi-final. So whoever wins this will earn themselves a cushy spot in the grands, get a little bit of a break while the lower bracket sorts itself out and finds out who's going to advance onward. But like I said earlier, I'm feeling pretty good about this upcoming match. At this point, I think we're just waiting on the players. So what are you looking for? I guess this is Snakewater. The average skill level of collegiate usually tends to be around mid IM to mid AM. It kind of hovers in that area. There's some outliers, obviously, as there is with everything. But what are you looking for from teams to try and break through the dreaded last stalemate or even just get through in general? Because open teams seem to struggle a lot on maps like Snakewater and Metal because they're so stalematy.
Yeah, I mean, the last is the name of the game, right? This last can be so difficult to traverse and so difficult to take ground on. The sentry gun spots can be really frustrating. So it's going to take a lot of information seeking and just good Ubers in general and taking space to make that happen, I think.
Yeah, I think spotting something a lot of teams don't really do. It's super, super, super important for teams to spot. Get that information so you can make an informed decision. A lot of the time we see teams, they'll go in and they'll kind of just throw a Hail Mary, and it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I feel like it will probably work a little bit more often than it would in, say, RGL, because this is collegiate. Collegiate is an experience in and of itself. It's a beauty to watch, really. But there's a prediction live in Twitch. If you have channel points, get ready, bet it all on whatever you team, or man, I can't even talk, on whatever team you think is going to win Snakewater. I do think the predictions, you still have about 3-ish minutes to get them in. If you have channel points, get it twisted. You will profit. If you don't, that's not on me. That's your own fault. Make sure you bet right. But I think going into this, I know we don't really know much about the collegiate season so far, but as is the spirit of covering any game, we gotta get the score predictions out here. What do you think the Snakewater map score is going to be?
I'm gonna say this one runs to time. I'm gonna say this is a 2-3 in the way of Texas A&M.
That sounds reasonable. Snakewater, at least in my experience, the coverage in the open areas tends to be a lower scoring but much closer scoring affair. So 3-2, 2-3, 2-1 a lot of the time. Obviously, there's games that'll go 4-5 and stuff like that, but I think I'm gonna have to mirror that. I think we're gonna have to say, or I think I'm gonna have to say, probably a 3-2 for Texas A&M as well. I think we have the team records in here in our super secret caster document here as well. Yeah, right here, match context. This will be something that's very important to know. So Texas A&M, I believe, is undefeated. They have not lost a game. They are 6-0 currently. I think that's what this is telling me. Went 25-3 in rounds. Didn't lose a single round after their third week. 5-0 against UNM on Metal in a week 4 30-minute affair, and received a bye to the upper bracket semis because they are the first seed. So they are, they don't have as much game time in the playoffs, but their skill definitely seeming to shine through here, as, like I said, they are undefeated. And then New Mexico, 19-9 in rounds, undefeated, hadn't dropped a round going into week 4 against Texas A&U, or Texas A&M. And after that, they had lost 2 shutouts in a row, 4-0 Bagel against the Hokies. And they had to play Cal Poly, who went 4-2 in the quarterfinals, 1 and a 2-1 reverse sweep. We are going live. Map 1, Snakewater of collegiate semifinals. We are going to have to see what these teams try to pull out on the mid. Hopefully we see some good damage. I'd like to see some aggressive bombs, good posturing, but time will tell what we see. Good damage coming from the side of UNM early on. Good contest on the height, but it does look like we'll be seeing StockU getting shoved away. Good damage redirection from the side of Texas A&M to get up on that height. Now we will see a bomb coming in from StockU. That will be a trade out, though. Belgian Waffle and 5 Red are going to be able to find those picks. Now it's player disad for University of New Mexico. 1 for 3 currently, 1 for 4 now as we move on to the mid. The meta getting chased down. Beautiful pipe from Guy Man as all of University of New Mexico has fallen on the mid. Texas A&M steamrolling their way into second.
Yeah, Texas A&M decided to play that a little slow. They were playing back. They didn't really bomb, and they kind of just let University of New Mexico walk right into them.
Yeah, and I mean, they kind of, like you said, they let them walk into them. They played like that rubber band, that sort of defense where they absorbed and then they snapped back forward. And it really worked out for them. That gamble worked out and proved to be very well. They're going to be Ubering through the left side. They're going to be bombing toward the point. Demo on top of it. Stickies have not been cleared by a soldier. Gun takes forever to go down. Stickies are still not cleared off the point. It's going to be the sentry. Now 3 going down. Belgian Waffle and Guy Man and 5 Red going to be able to pick up as many picks as possible with the demo going down. Actually, no, the demo never even dead his sticks with people on the point. He dead too early. And nobody died on the side of Texas A&M. For the side of Texas A&M, they're going to make it a 6v6 win with no casualties, no drops whatsoever. On the side of Texas A&M, that's a round on the board already. It's only been 2 minutes, and we move on to the next mid. Portal, University of New Mexico, much, much faster compared to the side of Texas A&M. Big bomb coming in from, I believe this is StockU. The follow-up coming in from a scout trying to find the way through. 5 Red goes down. Now 2 players. 2 for 2. Now 2 for 3. Texas A&M and the player disad. They will lose 4. They are already out, though. The Beam and Unk are out to their bridge, and they are out of here. They want nothing to do with this stark contrast to the previous mid.
Yeah, University of New Mexico did a really good job of taking height early and just knocking Texas A&M off the high ground, and from there they just cleaned up kills.
Absolutely, and I think what University of New Mexico, they're going to want to replicate that. They're going to want to try and have that same success on their upcoming mids, but they need to be wary. Texas A&M probably going to be looking for something similar. Now, I wonder what the plan will be for UNM here. They do need to send out a sack, and it looks like their hand is going to be forced. They're going to be sending in a scout, or at least trying to. They peek a little too far forward. They're going to be actually trying to... This is like a four-man almost, as a lot of people are weak. Stock U is low. Finding the demo on left. Gets blown up by the sticky. 4 players down. Med and scout here. I believe Grand Snecko and I think Water are playing a little bit too close for comfort. Demo will bomb forward. Doesn't get too much damage. Lands a few stickies, but they are out of there. They're back on mid, and honestly, UNM kind of sold their position on 2. All they had to do was get their players buffed and coordinate a more proper sack, but looked like they went for the more, you know, one after another approach, and that definitely came back to bite them. But Johnson will find a name. That's a good pick to have right now. Opens up the window for a sack, which will happen. Saku going in, lands on bridge, goes for the soldier, retreats into lower, gets taken down. The other bomb coming in from, I believe, this is Techno, trying to find something. They will be able to mop up a pick in the form of Belgian Waffle. That is good. A soldier goes down, but they lose 3 for just a mere soldier pick. It's a drop! It's a drop on the side of UNM. They hold on for too long, and now it's a team wipe. It's 5 red pistols down Josiah, and this is brutal for UNM right now.
Yeah, you really hate to lose a fight like that, and not only giving up Uber when the other medic already has Uber, just full Uber charge. This ad. Ooh, they got forwards and they're trying to make it out.
The medic's caught out! Guy man finds the pick on a Chris. They go again. But Uber comes out. Might not be the biggest advantage that they would like to see. Scout going in for the beam kill. Interestingly enough, doesn't find it. I think this is going to be another round for Texas A&M.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth right as they decided to Uber in and take that fight. They are taking a major player ad here. Only 2 soldiers up, and ooh, medic's finally coming up. So they
Demo does get around to the point. Some stickies, but I don't think... Well, maybe. Hold on. Techno on top of the point. Currently uncontested. Drops down. Gets taken out by the beam. Med goes down, but it's not enough. Water fighting the 1v1 with the demo, but the soldier bombs in. Gets some damage. Guy man with the pipe. Able to find the cleanup. And in another 3 minutes, just about round... Or I guess I shouldn't say another, but close enough to 2 minutes there. I think it was probably closer to 2:30. We see another round of the board for Texas A&M. They took it a little bit slow, almost came back to bite them. UNM almost had their spawners, but it worked out for them in the end here. They get another round on the board, go into the 3rd mid.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are posturing up. Nobody's really bombing right now. Scouts trying to take the high ground on top for Texas A&M, but they are going to fall, and looks like right off of that they're going to have to fall right back. 2 players down, they make the right decision, they fall back, and they're out to 2nd.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision there. You know, they haven't had great experiences on that mid so far. The last time they lost a couple players, they stayed in for far too long, overstayed their welcome. They realized that. They've adapted. So they're playing back now. They let their med stay alive. Don't have the Uber yet. They're still at 20% disad, but I don't know if Texas A&M knows that this is happening. I think they're going to let them get the Uber, and admittedly, they should have gone in probably a couple seconds ago, maybe 10 seconds ago, I would say. But they had no idea they had that ad. They figured that UNM would have gotten the Uber, and now it's going to even out on 2. And at this point, you're kind of just trying to set yourselves up, posture for some kind of sack. You know, it's inevitable. They will send one in. Soldier bombs, lands low, gets a rocket onto the beam. Should not be able to get in this deep. Goes down, and Aim is able to find Josiah. Now that opens up the opportunity for a 2nd sack. 5 red goes in, finds some water. Med is knocked up into the air, or Portal is knocked up into the air, rather, but Med takes a little bit of damage. They force. Now they have to find the pick on it to Smokey. They get no damage. The Med abandons the demo halfway through the Uber, and they are forced to retreat. Now, if they're not careful, they will lose their beam. Now Smokey, full Uber ad. Actually, it's just 1 player advantage so far, but this is not looking like a great position for UNM. Hopefully, for the fans. They'll be able to turn this one around, but Uber comes out. High bomb from the demo to the left side, trying to focus down the Pudis. They will. Sentry still on level 1. Stickies are being cleared off of the point, but it's a futile attempt. The point blocks it. Med walks onto the point! Blown up by the Stickies. This could be holdable for UNM, but Grand Sneko is caught by the doorway. It's just Portal alive! And all hopes are squashed as it's 3-0 on Snakewater. We're not even 10 minutes into the game.
This is a lot more fast-paced than I expected it would be, Eki. These lasts are blasting by, though a lot of them are full Uber ads, so they're just teams. Texas A&M keep on just doing the right thing, taking a lot of space, clearing stickies, even with your medic doing it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, gotta do what you gotta do in those situations, but maybe wait until those stickies are cleared off the point. That said, Guyman gets some nice pipes. They find Stalku and Portal. First 2 picks of the round will go to Texas A&M, and those are 2 great picks to have. 5 red goes down, but now it looks like University of New Mexico overstaying their welcome. They're going to find 2 picks in return. They could regress off of this if they so choose, but they are not going to. They're going to commit Techno in, try and find the med pick, and they will retreat. Grand Sneko, and I believe this is Water, back onto bridge, holding 2. They have Josiah in behind still. That's a little bit of a questionable play. Now your Scout's on a delayed spawn wave. This is not the greatest decision, but should be holdable still for UNM. Ubers should be even by the time Texas A&M is in a position to actually push into second.
Yeah, looks like A&M are just going to rotate. This is what they did last round. They just put so much aggression on lower, they got spammed out, but just keep on re-aggressing. Looks like they are going to fall back for now, though, with that player loss.
Yeah, and with that player loss, A-Name going down, this is a good opportunity for UNM to try and posture for some kind of counter sack, because that Scout dying, that is Texas's sack. That is what they have for the time being. They don't have the opportunity to send anyone in until that player is back up. UNM gets a window to try and force their beam. Now, it's a little risky. You do compromise your position on 2 if you decide to take that, but it can be very, very rewarding if done right. Fail bomb, double rocket in the air. I believe that is Stalku, who just shut down Unk. Beautiful, beautiful rocket placement, and now the aggression is steadfast, but Josiah goes down, Stalku goes down. Now this is looking very, very bad for the side of UNM, as they now have to play even further back than they could have if they just paced themselves. Looks like combo coming through lower for the side of Texas A&M. Damage coming through onto the beam, but they're bunching up on the point. They're going to eat a lot of damage from the same pipe. Portal goes down. Guyman gets the beautiful needle-threaded pipe. Soldier bombs in. Belgian Waffle finds the pick onto Water as they try to retreat to upper, but are caught out. Grand Sneko takes the lead in front of Techno, gets taken down, punished for it, but there's nothing they can do there. They have to get out as fast as possible, and they lose their beam for it. Now Guyman going forward. Oh my goodness, Guyman spikes Techno into the floor, finds so much value in this one life. Uber comes through from the side of Texas A&M. Point presence is insurmountable at this rate, but wait a minute, it could be defendable. Sticky's going on to the point. It's just a 2 alive, and that Uber will result in no win for the side of Texas A&M. Smoky Galaxy will kill bind in lower. This will give Grand Sneko the opportunity to get up to probably 40%.
Yeah, this should be quite the Uber advantage for them to walk into, and sorry, I'm getting the names or the teams mixed up a little bit.
I think blue will be UNM, and then red will be Texas for you. But going into this mid here, they're exchanging a little bit of damage. Lots of aggression going into lower here, and they know they can sustain it. Portal goes down, though. Soldier bombing in onto Grand Sneko. 1 rocket could seal the deal, but Stalku able to defend the castle. Stays, and now they're backing out. Stalku goes down. They choose not to press their advantage. They didn't have the position, and I think that's the right decision. They have the opportunity to go back in. They'll still have a little bit of Uber ad, but I don't know if they'll be able to go in with Stalku in the battle. They're going to have to take it a 5v5 on mid if they want to take it, but looks like they're going to be content with sitting on 2. Not the most ideal position to find yourself in if you are UNM.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had player disadvantage there. So even though they had the Uber, it would have been a pretty tough fight to take on mid. So sitting back, letting them get Uber isn't the worst thing you can do in this situation.
Absolutely, and I mean, we saw it a little bit earlier. They tend to do okay when they have to play on the defensive. Their positioning is a little off sometimes. Soldier bombing in. That's going to be one rocket onto the beam. The air shot after the force they had to use. If they didn't, there's another universe where that is a drop for the side of Texas A&M. They lose 2-4. 5 red state overstays their welcome. Josiah goes down here though, so it's a 1-for-2 trade in favor of UNM at the moment. But as things settle, the dust falls. It will be more beneficial for the side of Texas A&M. They are now walking into 2, getting some point time. It'll just settle to be a point win for Texas A&M. No Uber necessary. They're going to have it for when they push into last.
Yeah, 50% Uber ad in the side of Texas A&M. They're gonna have to move fast if they want to make use of it, though. Grand Snecko is building pretty fast. Looks like there's gonna be a gun on top left here. So, Uber's coming through lower. Looks like they're posturing.
Maybe they are. They're gonna take that Uber through lower. Interesting. I mean, you can really do whatever you want here. Oh. Water goes down, and so too does that gun very early on. A-Name will die. StockQ will die. 2-for-1 trade so far. They have to do their best to keep players alive. Demo playing on top of the point instead of around the edge, trying to play that space advantage. And that Demo will get knocked all the way into the spawn. Has no choice there but to really try and rush out to defend. And that will cost UNM another round. Positioning is a little off. And, I mean, you can't really afford to have things go that way. When you are on that disad, you have to play pretty much perfect, really, especially on Snakewater, to make things work out for you. I'd like to see, you know, maybe no more NG with such close margins, but now's not the time for analysis. We are going into the next mid. Could potentially be the final mid if Texas A&M is here to, you know, wrap it up. They want to move on to Metalworks quick. Josiah goes down. Belgian Waffle, good rockets to find that pick. Now A-Name playing the damage from the top. We'll take some of their own. StockQ and Portal going down. No Demo alive for the... Oh my goodness, 4 down. 2-for-1 deal from Guyman as he walks across the point. Not a care in the world. Knows his team is there behind him. They will capture mid for free. Possibly going to be... Not even possibly. They will just be able to walk into second for free. With Guyman here getting those traps set up on the doorways very early on. It's a very advantageous position, at least for the time being, for Texas A&M. But we will see Uber come up for University of New Mexico. They're going to be able to get the sentry set up here. They are trying to build it in an interesting spot. Level 1 in that valley usually doesn't end too well.
Yeah, this is the Banny spot, is it not? This is...
I think that's a little bit... for
back.
intents and purposes, I think this is the Banny spot. I think it goes a little bit further forward, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not quite there, but it's pretty much there.
It's close enough.
I see the vision.
Yeah. Yeah, I think usually when you put up that sentry, you want to build it on the left spawn, no? You want to have it level 1 there, you get it up to level 2, then you can move it to the Banny spot, is what I have been told, I have been informed to do by a couple of people. But I guess if you're in a rush, you can set it up down in the valley just for that defense.
Yeah. It's going to make it a little tough to pressure lower here. They have tried to peek it a couple of times and eaten a ton of damage for it. Looks like
I know one of your favorite things is up here. Water is up on Sniper. Get yourself on that cam, see if he can pick up any picks at all. Sniper on Snakewater last, pretty strong. Is peeking from the left side, though, so is going to struggle to find a good angle, really, on anyone. But can't blame him. Not really easy to peek out through left side right now with all the stickies. Portal is walking into a pile of stickies constantly, but is just undead on. That was a free pick for the Demo on the side of Texas A&M, but they choose not to. Belgian Waffle goes down. Uber coming out through lower. Soldier in onto the dispenser armor. I think we saw something happen here that nobody on the cast wants to see, but 2 players alive for these. Wait a minute, this could be a hold. This could be a hold for the side of UNM, and that is exactly what it'll be. I thought we saw some GG lag there, but I don't think so. I don't think that's what we saw.
No, Texas A&M. UNM putting up a great defense. Took a good Uber, didn't let a lot of players die, and cleaned up the rest of Texas A&M after that Uber.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a good response to the Uber. They played it well, and I think they would like to recreate that success in the future if they ever end up in the same position. Now, 80% Uber. This is 50-45 ad compared to Texas A&M, but now they can't really use it. Now they definitely can't use it. Techno and Stalku going down. They're going to have to find two. Oh, my goodness, no. It's a drop. It's a drop. It's a drop. 2-4-1 deal for Guy Man yet again, and then the Soldier finding the pick onto Grant Snecko. This is tragic for the side of UNM, and with only one player standing, second has been capped. Belgian Waffle bombing for the point. Stalku tries to defend, will get on for a brief moment, but there's just too much pressure. Nobody can defend. Map 1 is a sweep for Texas A&M. And we will move on to Metalworks, which I believe is a UNM pick. Let me just refer to our super secret caster document really quickly. No. This is UNM's pick. UNM has lost their map pick in a sweep, which now means we move on to the Texas A&M map pick. Now,
we're going to
there's a pattern. There's a pattern. We'll see Texas A&M potentially lose on their map pick, and then we go to a map 3. But with how they're playing, I don't think that is what we're going to see. Do have the logs, and I think to a surprise to absolutely nobody, Guy Man is putting on a clinic, clearing house, 348 DPM, 25-6 and 3, 10.3 KAD, 8.3 KD. I mean, that's the performance you want to see your demo put up, regardless of what division you're in. I mean, that's the performance I think all demos, they go to sleep, they dream of performances like this, and Guy Man is living it right now. And I mean, just put on such a strong performance here. I mean, there isn't much else to say. This is just Guy Man's world, and everybody else was living in it.
Every single mid was Pipe City. Every mid, there were so many clean pipes. And honestly, when you don't miss, the damage number go up. That is how that works.
I mean, there's nothing to really say. I mean, he had great sticky placement, great pipe placement, great zoning, took great bombs during Ubers. It's going to sound like glaze, but hey, you saw it here. That's just what happened. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm telling it how it is. And Guy Man played exceptionally well in that matchup. Now we move on to Metalworks. Like I said, this is map 2 of a 3-map series. If it is necessary, we will go on to Bagel, but it's not looking like it'll be too necessary, at least for the time being, unless UNM can pull off an upset here and take away a map from Texas A&M. But that remains to be seen. We will have to see how this map plays out. It is a little bit more difficult, I have noticed, for some teams, especially in open, to wrap their minds around Metalworks. Sometimes the mids really trip them up. Sometimes it's the last. Sometimes it's both. Usually I find that the last, especially on offense, trip them up because there's so many entryways. There's so many possible avenues for you to pressure from, for you to spam from, for you to sack from. It also gets a little bit overwhelming on defense because there's so much to cover. But I think the easiest way for you to introduce it to a team is to tell them to think about it a little bit like process, because there's so many doors on process, so much ground for the defense to cover and the offense to cover. But there's really only 2 good doorways to take those fights from. Now, we do have players filling the server. Not sure how quick they're going to be able to start. I mean, I'm thinking, if I'm in the mind of a college student right now, I'm thinking, man, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Let's wrap this up quick. So they're probably going to start as soon as they're able. I mean, we're ready for them whenever, basically. So they can get this show on the road whenever they feel like it. I mean, Yeah, and Texas A&M coming out 5-0. I mean, just winning on the other team's map pick, that's got to be a massive, not only is it a momentum boost, but it's a morale boost. Maybe you come into this, maybe you're a little nervous. You got the jitters. Maybe some of these people haven't been on a cast before, haven't been in a situation where, they're in a semifinals game, where it's on the line here. But I mean, they're playing well. And I think even if they do have the jitters, they are not showing it in their performance here tonight. UNM has left some things to be desired, and hopefully they'll be able to pick it up, mop it up on metal. But like I said earlier, remains to be seen. We'll have to wait to find out how this matchup unfolds.
One thing I'd really like to see this match is how the medics played. One of the things that happened to UNM, they had 2 drops at really bad times, and they also had 2 really unfortunate Uber forces. So I want to see if they can protect their medic better, position their medic better, and trying to improve their medic living.
Yeah, I think med positioning was something that definitely was a little off. I think that's the case for both teams here. There were a couple times I saw Smokey in some places that kind of made me go, kind of made me, recoil just a little bit. But given how Texas A&M is playing, they can get away with it. They have a lot of aggression. They have a lot of space that they're constantly able to take. Now, we do have predictions live yet again for the second map. Place your bets, folks. It could be the end of the semifinals pretty soon. So you'll want to get in on this this gambling action with your channel points. And if you got bankrupted by the previous prediction, I'm sorry, but hey, maybe you'll get 10 points for watching the stream. You can place those on UNM if you're a UNM fan. But as it stands right now, looks like it's going to be 2/3 of people thinking that Texas A&M is going to walk home with the victory. And after that performance on Snakewater, who can blame them? But miracles happen very, very often, especially in a game like TF2. Momentum is very important, and things can shift with the snap of somebody's fingers. They can snap faster than you can blink, and things can turn around very, very, very fast. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think it's love to, predict the map scores, and I'm going to throw my prediction out there. We didn't see any UNM rounds for the previous game. I'm thinking they're going to take that. They're going to try and learn from what they can quickly. And I think they're going to try and turn it around here. I think we're going to see a map 3. I think we're going to see UNM. I think we're going to go 4-2 on metal in favor of UNM to force a third map and see how things go. But as we go live, what are your score predictions?
I'm thinking this goes 4-2 for A&M. I'm thinking we have a 2-map series. Guy Man is just on fire.
I can't blame you. The Guy Man, like you said, on fire. Literally the embodiment of flame right now. But
yeah, when you play around your demo man and give him great opportunities to play, he wins.
Especially on open mids like this one. Now, med for A&M playing, wow, they don't even fight mid for the side of UNM. Completely outclassed on the rollout. They're backing out to their own second pretty much instantaneously. They almost lost, I believe it was Stock U, who was running away through Valley, went in front of his team. I guess the communication wasn't there, maybe just got caught up in the rollout, maybe got juggled by someone, but they're going to opt to hold 2 with evens. Uber now up for both sides as we wait for Texas A&M to, well, at this point, send a sack.
Yep, looks like they're trying to make some room here in Valley. Soldier Bomb is going to attempt to come out, but it's getting shut down super hard. And they're going to lose a scout as well. That's a 2-sack right there.
And that gives UNM perfect opportunity to go for their own sack, potentially take yard, maybe go the extra mile, take mid here. I mean, if you really want to stretch it, you can go to mid. You just have to play well, make sure your med doesn't extend too far forward, and that you have people who are able to react quickly to your med getting attacked. But it doesn't look like Texas A&M will contest very early on. Maybe they'll reaggress here to try and prevent the mid cap, but it doesn't look like they'll do so. They'll force UNM to come into their second now, and we'll see a flip-flop of positions. UNM wins mid by doing basically nothing. Saku going to be able to go and find a name, and now Techno finding Fibrid as well. 2 players down for the side of Texas A&M, and that Uber comes out now. 3 players down for the side of Texas A&M, but they managed to find the Uber use from Grand Snecka, so now they are sitting on Uber ad. Techno going to be going in, can't thread the needle into that doorway, gets sent up way too high. Looks like we're going to be seeing the demo fall. Portal is nowhere to be found as they're sent to lower. Guyman goes down. That could be something useful for UNM, but it looks like the Uber could potentially get used into UNM's face here. Portal goes down. Belgian Waffle able to find that peg. Now Water going down as well. Man, this is brutal, but wait a minute. It looks like Stocky went behind. Not able to find the rockets that are crucial to find the force or even drop onto Smokey. They maintain that Uber. Oh, now Josiah and Stocky going down at around the same time. 1 in Valley, 1 with the rest of the team. And we'll see another flip-flop of the mid for Texas A&M as now they posture with full Uber ad. I don't think you can hold this in any reality if you're UNM, especially being down 2 players.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one to hold. It looks like they are going to be walking immediately out bridge. They could walk into this trap, but no, they're clearing it. Ooh,
clearing is the right thing. Uber through. Demo launched into lower. Beam caught out on concrete. Will get knocked out by those stairs. Grand Snecko goes down. This is pretty brutal for the side of UNM right now, but they're able to make the most of it. They find 4 for 2. They find Smokey. Now all they have to do is find Belgian Waffle, who's caught inside of lobby, and what looked like it would be a great push for Texas A&M has turned out disastrous. We see mid flop again. I think for the 4th time in 4 minutes now. Or actually, this would be the 5th time, I think, in 4 minutes that the point has flipped. UNM, the better position. Actually, it'll be pretty much even because those Ubers are even.
Yep,
I think Unk. Where is Unk? Unk is in the lunchbox spot. Finds the entirety of the enemy team. Has to jump away. Doesn't get caught out, though.
Yep, UNM looking to reposition into lobby here, get some pressure on door maybe. They know that there's going to be the stickies here, so they're not peeking directly through there. And looks like they're just playing really passive. They are trying to still get this Uber, so not the worst idea.
Yeah, no, I think trying to play for the Uber here is arguably the best decision that they can make, especially given, you know, we've seen their track record with trying to take pushes so far. It hasn't really worked out well for them. So now we see Ubers have evened. At this point, it is up in the air for who will be able to walk in with 2 in the bag or not. Will we be able to see UNM take a successful Uber, maybe find a sack that gives them the opportunity to take this one home? Portal waddles through the doorway. That trap is cleared, but the soldier is there, is not cleared. They don't see the shadows of the wall, and that will exit out with the Uber very, very, very early. Counter pop coming through from the side of Texas A&M. They're able to find Grand Snecko very early on, which is going to be a crucial pick. Portal goes down inside of house. Now this chase is on for Water. Crouching by the choke, able to slip their way back in. Takes a 1v1 with 5 red, loses. Stock goes down inside of lobby as well. Smokey does fall, however, by the hands of Stocky. So it's not the end of the world, but definitely feels like it right now if you are on the side of UNM as you're watching everyone fall before your eyes.
Oh yeah, that whole play hinged on Belgian Waffle just sitting in that corner the whole time, and there's actually a shadow spot for it, but I guess they didn't see that. And being able to get that medic force out super early and then getting a really good Uber trade out helped them a lot.
Yeah, and now we've kind of just entered that same position we saw both teams in not too long ago. They're waiting on 2 for one of the teams, and one of the teams being Texas A&M here because it's their prerogative. They have to sack in unless UNM decides they want to take this Uber ad. If they take this Uber ad, it could be detrimental, or it could be the greatest decision they ever take. Portal able to find a pick onto Unk. but the remainder of Texas A&M backs out. The soldier is inside the choke. They're going to be able to find the rockets onto Grand Snecko. It's brutal as they go down. The most detrimental play that could have happened to UNM, and this could result in a round conversion if Texas A&M plays this right. Finds Portal on the mid. Josiah finds a pick earlier on, but Stocky finds a pick onto a name that could slow down Texas A&M just enough for things to work out in favor of UNM. But Water caught in on the point, piped down by Guy Man. Now, Josiah tries to go in. It's player after player. They are hemorrhaging picks right now. No scouts alive, which means no off classes unless you select a soldier to go Pudis or heavy. Fully Brad for the side of Texas A&M. They're going to bide their time, let players get into position, get buffed, and then they will take this Uber in, which would, at least that's what I would imagine would be the decision here.
Yep, Texas A&M has been doing a good job of utilizing their advantages.
Oh!
An early
Goodness
pick coming
me.
up from them.
Very early pick from the sniper. Now another one from Josiah onto 5 red. Guy Man goes down, but there's a lot of cap time on the point. The Pudis is the only one to defend. Soldier goes in. They need to get bodies on top of the point, and they will. Smoky Galaxy, last one standing, goes down. Monumental play for the side of UNM here. They're able to walk out onto the 2. Probably going to be able to get into mid with about 80 ad, if I had to guess. And looks like things are turning around for them.
Yeah, looks like UNM is going to be going through lower to Valley, trying to clear this out. Doesn't look like there's any sticks on Valley to stop them. There's a little spam coming in. High bomb coming in from... Ooh! It takes down Scout and Demo Man.
Guy Man being down here could be the nail in the coffin for Texas A&M. As we saw in Snakewater, Guy Man was kind of their carry. Trade between Stocky and Unk inside the choke. Not great, not terrible. If you are UNM, you want to keep as many players as possible alive right now, especially with Grand Snecko having that Uber disad. Now, they're going to play aggressive in lobby, which I don't like, because that Uber is going to come up very, very soon for the side of Texas A&M, and if you are not careful, you lose Grand Snecko, you lose Techno, you might lose a Scout, you might lose Water there if you're not careful as well, but they played back, they're retreating, Demo bombs forward, beautiful bomb from Guy Man to find the pick on a Grand Snecko. Name goes down, Josiah trades it out. Now Portal and Josiah going down as well. 3-for-1 deal. Now a 1-for-4. This is massively in favor of Texas A&M. Now we see UNM backing up here. They're just trying to play for picks, find whatever they can, and even still, don't think there's going to be a lot they can do. Grand Snecko walks out of the forward spawn, gets themselves killed. Now we see a soldier in lower, could be caught out here. Unk chasing. Belgian Waffle will find the pick. Portal finds the pick on a Smoky Galaxy here. There's so much happening at once. This is amazing. Techno goes down. Unk finds a pick. Techno trades out with Unk, though, forces the crater. 1-for-3. Now a 4-for-5. 5 red finds a double kill onto Portal, and I believe Water as well. This is rough for UNM right here. I don't think it's detrimental at the moment. Could potentially hold on, but remains to be seen.
The control point is being contested.
Gotta load the analysis. Gotta load it up because there's so much happening in that fight. We might not even be able to get the analysis. Oh my, Unk, you can't do that. You cannot play like that in collegiate league. Goodness gracious. Now, Stocky dies, but Unk finds basically 2 picks there. That's a 2-for-1 life, essentially. So, beautiful play from Unk there. Get his team a lot of good value, but unfortunately, they're not able to capitalize. Portal finds 2, sticky kill, and a pipe kill onto 5 red and a main. Now, no scouts alive for the side of Texas A&M. Going to have to pull out, not really easily able to defend against soldier bombs. Techno goes in with low HP. Beautiful pipe from Guy Man. Now they could see another pick on the point as Water is low. bobs and weaves around the rockets, survives. Josiah goes down in his stead. Now another bomb coming in from StockU, goes for the air shot, whiffs, a crater is in line. Both Ubers used over the point. It's going to be a trade between StockU and Unk here. Portal able to find that pick now. Portal going down 5 red is going to be able to find the demo pick on the side of UNM. It's a 2-for-2 endeavor, but no demo for the side of UNM. Essentially makes it a 3-for-2 endeavor, with Texas A&M having a lot bigger advantage. Now they push into second. They're going to have to stall as those players are even out. But wait a minute, they're not. They don't think stalling is an option here. They're going in through Valley. Smokey takes a good bit of damage from the scout behind. Has taken no damage themselves, but of course, as soon as I say that, gets taken down by Guyman in one fell swoop. Techno able to find the pick onto Smokey Galaxy, however, and that gives UNM a lot of momentum to try and push out. Belgian Waffle will go out, or will go down, rather, as we see Texas A&M retreating through Valley. A&M goes down. Could we see the pick onto Guyman if they chase hard enough? Maybe. Submarine rockets not quite deep enough. Demo bombing forward. Portal trying to find a pick. Will not be able to. Has to set up stickies. And now we see mid flop for... I've lost count of how many times mid has flopped in this game. Or in this sole round, I guess I should say, because neither team has scored. Neither team has scored just yet, and I believe Uber coming out from the side of UNM. They will get forward. They will lose Portal and Techno. They managed to find Unk and a name here, so that's a soldier and a scout for a soldier and a demo. 2 explosives going down for 1 explosive is not ideal, but now you have a 2-for-3. No, 2 explosives going down. You lose Josiah here, but you have the player advantage by 1. Not a lot, but 1 could be enough to make a difference here, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. UNM going to be able to take second. They're going to be able to set themselves up for a potentially very bountiful hold if they're able to play this right. You could leave 1 to die. You could, you know, play back and try to absorb as they push in, force that Uber out early, perhaps. With StockU playing in by Shutter, we might see that. But now it looks like they're going to back up, and we'll just have to wait to see what Texas A&M does. They Uber very early. About 20% of that Uber is wasted just trying to get out of the doorway. The scout goes through, his body blocked, but Grand Snecko is left to their own devices. Nobody to defend. Soldier shows up. That is a massive blunder. 5 red able to just mop up the kill to Grand Snecko, but this could turn around to bite them as some water is still in. But Guyman finds the pick, and now massive, massive blunder from the side of UNM costs them what could be a round as the pocket scout abandons the med on the side of UNM. And now we move into this this next mid here. Doesn't seem like anything crazy will happen, at least not yet. Texas A&M does have a little bit of advantage in the Uber department. Now in the player department as well. Josiah goes down 5 red, able to find that pickoff shot across the map. And now we have Unk fighting for the high here. Bombs forward, takes a lot of damage, denied by the scout early. 3 HP, lands on the health pack, will get healed. A-Name, 5 red, and Unk. A-Name was previously low, not anymore. Now no health, 1 HP for A-Name. Unk goes down, Portal will perish. That is a good trade to have. Now StockU finding 2 picks. We'll find A-Name and Belgian Waffle. If UNM wants to reaggress, this would be the time to do so. Josiah trades out with 5 red. Guyman able to find that trade. 3 for 4 on the mid. And nothing really happening on the field any longer as things settle down. The dust has fell. And we wait for the next play to be made. I think for the first time in forever, we might see a lull. I mean, it's just been non-stop action constantly. Techno dies, A-Name dies, it's a trade. Maybe I lied to you, there might not be a lull. I think UNM is posturing to take an Uber, but as soon as they get into the doorway, they lose Portal. Josiah goes down as well. 2 for, actually this is a 1 for 3 situation for the side of Texas A&M University. They're trying to get in deep onto mid. Take as much space as they possibly can without having to use that Uber. And UNM has no choice but to concede. If they stay in, they use that Uber. They might not even get the force back. And we're still not going to see a lull, I don't think. Well, maybe we will. Texas A&M has been cautious with their positioning on 2. So I think Now, for the first time in a little bit, we're going to see a lull in the action. Belgian Waffle goes down, Alt goes down, Josiah finds both. A little bit more damage is needed for UNM, and they can find themselves a bust out onto mid. Oh, okay. As soon as I tab out to respond to an important message, they use in, or they don't use. Josiah was just able to get in, rather, I should say, and Smokey has used their Uber, so now it's full Uber ad for the side of UNM here as they get through the choke. They do use, but they take a lot of damage to get that Uber out. So that's not ideal. You want to hold on to it for as long as possible, especially when you're in a situation where Texas A&M has just used their Uber. And well, now UNM has kind of just flipped the script. I mean, it's a forever war. I mean, nobody has scored 12:50 on the timer until overtime. I think they play overtime. I'm like 99% certain they play infinite overtime. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've covered collegiate. But Uber comes through from the side of Texas A&M. They're going to use it through lower. They're going to try and find whatever they can. Guyman is in deep. Somehow doesn't die to Techno and Portal. And they are able to chase deep. Guyman is still alive despite all of that. Now Grant Snecko left all on their own on second. vrethren on a 6K right now on a tear. Is able to find Water and Grant Snecko on second here. Now we have to stop this cap on 2 if we're Texas A&M. They're not going to be able to cap last year. Techno goes down. Texas A&M, they will be able to hold on to the last. I don't think there's a world where UNM is able to thread the needle and find the cap. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Oh my goodness. We almost saw Smokey go down there to a Soul Scout trade out from Stock U and 5 Red. Now, UNM has to back up here. No Uber ad for them. It's Uber ad again for Texas A&M. On their own second, however, not the position I think they're hoping to be in. As we move on, mid held pretty pass. Actually, no, they're aggressive on this mid hold now. Probably shouldn't be this aggressive. I would be playing back if I was UNM, especially if I knew how much disad I was at the moment. But I guess with the info they're getting from Valley, they're confident in holding aggressive, and I would be too. You know, they're playing back. You're getting Uber soon. You can hold. Uber comes out as soon as Guyman is in the face of Grant Snecko. They counter pop pretty much instantaneously. They have to do that. Now, Water goes down. Josiah trades it out by finding Smoky Galaxy. That's a great pick to have for UNM. You've been struggling the entire game to find picks onto the beam that matter, and now you have one. This could turn the tide of the entire mid, but Grant Snecko forced away, has to back out. It's just combat classes on the mid. Portal goes down. Now, Stock U running away. Has to. No other option. Has to link up with the beam on 2. We see a failed mid-hold from UNM when the cards were in their hand, but they didn't play it right. They folded when they should have held. And, I don't know. This isn't looking great for the side of UNM, but still no rounds on the board. Plenty of time for a team to take the lead here. 10 minutes until the infinite overtime config kicks in. And now, as we move on to this next hold, UNM 50% Uber advantage here, looking to try and pressure as much as they can. Portal, buddy, I love you, but you gotta stop walking into those stickies. Your scouts need to be helping you out here. We walk around the corner. Stickies finally get cleared and dead. Josiah just... Where did he come from? Just runs through from the lobby 2 second through the doorway. Don't really know what was happening there. But Uber's even out here. UNM does the right thing. They play the clock, they play the Uber, and they're just gonna let things simmer down here. Nothing's gonna get aggressive, or nobody's gonna get aggressive, rather, and nobody's really gonna try and posture for, you know, some kind of off-time sack or anything like that. Texas A&M mirroring that, also playing a little bit actually, they're playing more passive than I think they should be, especially with the Uber situation right now. They're taking lobby space. It looks like we're going to be seeing Stock U going down. A soldier bombs in from Techno. That is not what you want to see right now. Uber gets forced out on top at the point. Now Texas A&M in a more advantageous position than they could ever have hoped for. Uber still up, back in Valley. One player advantage now as Unk has fallen in this fight. But even still, this is massive. We could see the first round of the game converted here as long as Texas A&M plays their cards right. They can take a 6v6 even or full Uber ad push with even players into last. They're actually going to opt for the 5v6. Sniper is up. It looks like Josiah trying to wait for that pick, doesn't try to run away from Guyman, and honestly, you got to respect the commitment. 4 down. Now there's nothing that the side of UNM can do, and after a 22-minute endeavor, the first round of the game is on the board for Texas A&M. As the score settles at 1-0. UNM looking to put a round on the board here just to prevent it from being a full sweep. No rounds scored at all. Obviously, they're hoping for the third round, but they've been struggling. They have been having some rough moments here. Water will go down very early on. They should be able to trade this off by finding Guyman, but the spam isn't directed. That damage is not getting calm. Now Portal goes down, and they have only the pick on a 5 red to show for it. Techno goes down as well. It's a 1 for 3, which is basically a 3-for-0. This is crazy. The aggression we're seeing from UNM when they cannot afford it, it's really costing them some rounds that should be in their favor. Stock U goes in, finds a trade with a name, but not a trade you want to have right now. It's Texas A&M on the point. Ubers are even. We could see a regress from UNM as they do posture out to the point. They do use their Uber. They're going to try and get it forced out from the side of Smokey, but they're going to retreat through lower. This mounts to nothing. Guyman doesn't even take any damage yet. They actually find the pick on a Grand Snecko in the post Uber. This should not be allowed to happen if you are on UNM, and they still can't find the pick onto Smokey. They don't even force. They take the double meat shot from Josiah, and they tank it like a beast. They are going to waddle their way through lobby. They're going to try to take this Uber through Banana, and I don't blame them. This is the most opportune time to do so. They're going to get a lot of cap time onto the point. They force Portal to face tank the point. Uber comes out. They're going to get a lot of value from it. 3-4-1 deal. 3 for 2, 4 for 2. As players fall, they drop like flies. Water the last man standing. 2-0 Texas A&M on Metalworks. 22 minutes without a round. And now I think this is actually just about a minute almost later. Another round has been added onto the board. Momentum is everything in TF2. And I think the snowball has started. It's been well into effect here. And I think they figured it out. Found their footing, noticed the weaknesses of UNM, finally found abilities to capitalize, or finally found the ways to capitalize. Good bomb coming in from the side of UNM. They're going to get a lot of good pressure, but another good bomb coming in response from Texas A&M. They force the beam onto the low ground. Another bomb. The second bomb coming in from Belgian Waffle. It's a 3K on... Oh my goodness, it was almost a 4K. Unk stole the kill on Stock U, but it doesn't matter. It's a 4-for-0 mid with Grand Snecko falling early on, and Texas A&M is looking to run it all the way to last. Techno goes down. 5 red finds the pick. They're looking to make this a full, clean sweep as Texas A&M getting in. Uber is up. They go for the bomb. They're sticky trapping the spawn door. There's a little bit of BM here. Meta standing still. Smokey doesn't use the Uber. This is detrimental. The BM could come back to bite Texas A&M. Water goes down, a little bit of cap time coming out, but there's a lot of people on the side of UNM who are able to defend the point. They will hold on for the moment. A little bit of trolling, I think, maybe from Texas A&M as they're up, but maybe some tech issues. I do see Smokey saying me when the mouse doesn't M1. I think they meant M2, but hey, I guess plausible deniability will say it's an equipment malfunction. Belgian Waffle on Batman. Looking to find a drop. Techno bombs in from the high bomb. Standard high bomb. Uber comes out from the side of UNM. They're going to be trying to find whatever they possibly can. They find the pick on a 5 red. Now Stock, you're going to be going down to Belgian Waffle. Guyman is able to find the pick on a Josiah here. Smokey takes a little bit of damage. Does back away, though. They're already out to Shutter. Nothing that they can do here on the side of UNM to progress any further. 2 for 2. Uber advantage for the side of Texas A&M. Honestly, I say wait for your players. Push into mid. You win the mid. Probably don't even have to use your Uber. You got the player advantage. You got the position. Honestly, they're not even going to have to wait for their spawners. They can just take this here as they move into mid. UNM back on their second. 40 disad going into this hold. Could lose a scout here. 5 red doesn't go down. Techno dies to Guyman. This guy just does it all by himself. Guyman says, I don't give a damn if I have a scout behind me or not. They push through the doorway. They're going to be able to segment off Portal. They're not going to chase for that kill, though. They're actually going to try and wrap him. They'll be successful. Josiah goes down. Portal goes down. It looks like Texas A&M is going to try and hunt down the med here. Brand Snecko goes down. StockU goes down. There's nothing that UNM could do at this point in time unless Techno and Water pull out an absolute miracle. But there is nothing left for them to pull out. 3-0 for Texas A&M. There's been no round scored from the side of University of New Mexico. This is looking grim. 2:26 until overtime, at which point, if no more rounds are scored, all Texas A&M will need to do is win one more round. It'll be a 4-0 clean sweep victory. UNM, again, not able to put any rounds up on the board. Not on Snakewater, not on Metalworks, but again, with the overtime, plenty of time for a comeback to start. They just have to find that little tiny bit of momentum. Starting mid, on low ground. Soldier playing very well on the blue crate. Unk going to be able to find the trade out with Techno. Now Portal going down. This is going to be detrimental for the side of UNM. Now, I believe we have Unk dead on the point here. Soldier bumming in on top of the beam. Gets taken down by StockU. Beautiful rocket to find the pick. UNM could turn this around. They were in a bit of a rough position at the start, but they're going to be able to turn this around perhaps. Wait a minute. Josiah goes down. The rocket isn't able to find the pick onto Guyman. And, you know, I hate to say it, but I think Guyman might be cheating. This guy's got to have Buddha on. This guy's got to have God mode. I mean, what is going on with how much this guy is able to just live in situations where they're just not able, they shouldn't be able to. Force comes out on the side of UNM. They are going to be taking the counter from the side of Texas A&M. They walk over the point, not really able to find anything just yet. They find Grant Snecko. That's going to be a great pick for them to have. They find the pick onto Josiah. 5 red taking the 1v1. A-Name comes in to play cleanup crew. Janitor method acting in this game right now is going very well for A-Name. I mean, some of the best janitoring I've seen from anyone, really, in my entire life. Now, big bomb coming in from Portal, not really going to be able to find anything. Now, another bomb coming in from Techno. Goes down, Guyman and 5 red going to be able to find those picks. Texas A&M on the point, 40 seconds left in the game until overtime. StockU goes down. Now, here's the real question. Are they going to violate the principle of waiting for overtime to kick in to take this point, or are they going to wait? They should wait here. Sniper's up, peeking from garage. Josiah up on it again. They know that the sniper is there. They insta-swap off. On to NG, heavy up as well. Bomb coming in from Banana. Uber coming in from Banana as well. 5 red goes down in the back of that Uber, but Portal goes down. Water goes down. A little bit of cap time, not a lot though. They're gonna cap before overtime kicks in. They're gonna force a 5th round. They're gonna force a 5th round. They're gonna go for the 5-0-5-0. They only had to wait 5 more seconds and the game would have been over. But they want the 5-0. Now, could this come back to bite them? Will we see UNM come back? If you believe in miracles, this is the time to really, really, really start believing. Guyman goes down early in the mid. Good bomb coming in from StockU and with Josiah on the cleanup. A-Name goes down. Good spam from Techno into the choke. It looks like Unk trying to get something. Does get some good damage onto Grant Snecko, but there's no one to play with them, and they will lose that fight. We do have, I believe, that is Belgian Waffle hiding on top of the vent. We'll get spotted out. We'll leave. Goodness gracious. This could turn out to be very bad for Texas A&M. The disrespect could cost them the clean sweep as UNM march their way into last. They've captured 2. They have a little bit of Uber ad. They have to take this quick if they want the pick onto Smokey. They've got good cap time, or they got a little bit of cap time, I should say. Some of it is going their way. Techno will go down. Portal goes down. No more demo alive for the side of UNM. They have to play this perfectly now. Uber online in just about 2 seconds for the side of Smokey. They will get the Uber. 2 down only for the side of Texas A&M. They Uber on top of the point. They try to hold on, but they deem it not worthwhile to hold on. Stocky trying to face tank the Uber. And Texas A&M, by the skin of their teeth, managed to hold on. They prevent a 1-4 scoreline. And they have their eyes set on a 5-0-5-0 sweep on both maps in this series. Advancing into the grand finals, I don't think is a question for Texas A&M. They see it as a statement. They see it as, this is what we are going to do. We don't care what the other teams do. Doesn't matter. We're going to win. Techno goes down. Josiah goes down. A name is traded out for it. I believe Smokey's actually able to find the pick on to Josiah. 1 for 2 Endeavor. Now 3 for 1 Endeavor. Very good numbers. Very good ratios for the side of Texas A&M. They're looking to find their way into second. A little bit of Uber disad for the side of University of New Mexico. They're holding on to 2. Probably shouldn't be this aggressive. They lose Techno in Valley, way too overextended. There's an outpost there that is undefended. And now bomb will come in from the side of Belgian Waffle. Guyman will go down. Smoky Galaxy, I think, with their 3rd kill of the game. Portal finds a pick on Unk. Uber comes out from the side of University of New Mexico. Now the Uber comes out from the side of Texas. They will try to find as many picks as possible. They're going to have to wrap their way up on top of the point and find whoever is out of the Uber, but they're not going to be able to push. They're going to back out. They're going to go through lower. They are playing back. They're not going to overextend. They're going to play through space. They're going to buy their time. Belgian Waffle playing in Lunchbox, monitoring the packs, just waiting to see if anybody tries to pull something that they shouldn't be pulling. Guyman goes down. Good saves from Portal. Could be a flip of mid once more. Good damage directed towards the choke. 5 Red walks into a rocket and a sticky. Saki goes down. Water goes down. Oh my goodness. Now Grant Stecco goes down. Josiah able to trade it out, but it doesn't matter. You've lost your beam, UNM. You have to go in. You have to try and find everything. Belgian Waffle goes down. Josiah is able to find the crater. Force it out of them. Soldier on top of the point. I believe this is Unk trying to fight the scout. Gets taken down by Josiah. Could be a trade out for UNM, but nothing happening here. For UNM, they're not going to be able to regress to mid here. Texas A&M kind of has this. Or, well, actually, Texas A&M should have this, but they're playing very far back. They could have left somebody on a point, maybe, but I guess with their player disad, they have opted to play it safe. I respect the decision, and you know what, with the way they've been playing, can't really question it. I had to take me a drink of water. Uber ready. The side of Texas A&M, they are ready for the hold. Honestly, they could just reaggress at this point. 40% Uber ad. They got a little bit of positioning in Valley. They could take it. And I think, no. They're just getting players buffed up. They could lose Unk in Valley here. 32 HP. Josiah goes down. A-Name is on a tear right now. Running through Valley. Able to find the pick onto Josiah and onto Techno. That is a soldier and a scout going down. Ubers are even. But UNM is playing back in their own choke. They could get mid for free here on the side of Texas A&M if they play the cards right, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go for the cap. Belgian Waffle goes down to a sticky trap laid by Portal in the choke. But the main combat class is going in to the point here for the side of Texas. Uber gets used on the side of on the side of UNM. They find the pick on the guy, man. They find a pick onto Unk now. Now the combo isolated inside of Valley, but they're gonna wait for the Uber to expire. They're gonna be going back into the Valley or into the house. They're gonna try and find as many picks as possible, but they're not gonna be able to find anything just yet. They find Josiah. A-Name goes down. Portal able to find that pick. Smoky Galaxy goes down. Portal able to find another one. Techno finds 5 red, and that should have been a gimme for the side of Texas A&M, but they find nothing. They lose mid. Now they're on their own second. 40 Uber disad. Could be 50 if UNM builds this out right. And I hate to say it, but delaying that, not delaying their cap on last could result in them losing the clean sweep. But too early to say anything just yet. Techno goes in. Belgian goes down. Guyman stays AFK in Valley. Stocky's able to find the rocket. The arrow, I guess, doesn't connect in time. A-Name is able to find Josiah, trades out with 5 red now. A-Name goes down. Smoky Galaxy trades that out by finding Stocky. That's like the 5th kill from the med in this game, but it's just the med and Unk alive. Med could go down inside a banana here. They're able to back away. They haven't died just yet, and they have the cavalry there to support them. Portal goes down. Unk finds the pick. It's just been non-stop action here. There's never been a lull for more than 2 seconds in this game. I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point. Our other commentator, I think, has lost internet, unfortunately, so won't be able to come back in here, unfortunately. But I will try to bring us through the rest of the way, take us home. Stocky will go down. A-Name gonna be able to find a pick. Little bits of passive play coming into the choke. A&M pushing through into the lobby. They've got 2 players in there now. 5 red, eats a pipe, has to back away, almost dies to the sticky. If there was a better time dead, that would have been a free pick for the side of UNM, but not gonna be able to find it. The only thing defending the choke right now is Portal. The Uber comes out. Unk going to be able to find a pick onto Josiah. The counterpop coming in from the side of UNM as well. They're going to be able to try and maybe find a pick onto Smokey here. Good bomb from Techno, but the rocket beef is unreal. Grand Snecko goes down. Water dies. Techno dies. Portal dies. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to call it too early. They still have Josiah and Stock You ready to defend the point. But I think this could be the end of the semifinals, the upper bracket semifinals, might I add. Guy Man on top of the point. Ladies and gentlemen, Texas A&M walk away with a 5-0 sweep against University of New Mexico. They are going to move on to the grand final, and I think whoever they face up there, it is going to be an absolute slugfest. It's going to be a real ringer when we might not see what they're going to do in the grand finals. I hope so, but we might not see. But regardless of what happens, things are going to go crazy in those grand finals. And we do have the logs. I'm not going to spend too much time on them. Low-key, I'm hungry, and my grandma made some beef stew downstairs. Oh my goodness, you don't know what kind of beef stew my grandma makes. But pulling up the logs here, let's see. Yeah, and again, a shocker to absolutely nobody. Guy Man is clearing house. He's not the only person with 300 DPM this time around, though. And Portal is only 8 DPM off for making it a 300 game themselves. But Guy Man, 35, 9, and 12, a 3.7 KAD, a 2.9 KD. They're the only person in the game to have taken 10,000 damage, but their DPM is so high that they are actually almost 100 DPM higher than their DTM, in spite of taking 10,000 damage. I honestly, I don't really know. I don't really know how you put up these numbers. You know, I've seen some crazy demo performances in my time of casting. I don't think I've seen a guy just kind of walk through and throw pipes and stickies wherever he wants. Unless, you know, I'm watching like Habib or something, just clear house in like an advanced or like a main pug or something that like never happens ever. But Guy Man played exceptionally well. On the other side of things, Stock You for the side of UNM and Portal as well played very, very, very strong. Stark contrast to the game prior where everybody on UNM, it looked like they were struggling. But I mean, 5 red, oh my, I didn't notice. 5 red has 43 kills. So I thought a name was playing great janitor. I thought a name was playing great cleanup crew. And admittedly, they were when they had the opportunity to. But 5 red kind of just walked into people and got a lot of kills. Got away with a lot of things that should not have happened. And I think UNM going to have a little bit of a hard time trying to pick themselves up here. But I think they've got plenty of time to get some reviews in, see how things are going to go. For the remainder of the season. They'll go down into the lower bracket, I think round 1 here. But yeah, that's that is that was a performance. And actually, I think this is the quarterfinals that we've been covering. So if this is the quarterfinals, I want to know what the semifinals are, because looking at the bracket here, round 3, the semifinals is actually between Texas A&M and UT Prosum, or Prosum, however you pronounce that. And the lower bracket, the first round of the lower bracket, will start sometime soon, I would imagine. UNM versus RIT Orange, and Nittany Lions versus Cal Poly in the lower bracket. So hopefully we'll be able to get you some more games. But I think that's going to do it for us tonight. I've been Eki, joined by Connie for the majority of the cast, but unfortunately, internet issues plague us all at one point or another. Resin on production, and we will see you next time we come out with a cast.